एंड वेलकम। स्वागत है आप सभी का आपके अपने यूट्यूब चैनल एग्जाम ब्लूप्रिंट में। आज की क्लास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे 6, 7 और 8 जुलाई के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पीआईबी न्यूज और उनका एनालिसिस। आगे बढ़ने से पहले आपको बताना चाहेंगे कि अगर आपको क्लास का पीडीएफ चाहिए तो आप हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल जिसका नाम है एग्जाम ब्लूप्रिंट, यहाँ से कनेक्ट करके आप सारे पीडीएफ ले सकते हैं। यहाँ सारे पीडीएफ डाले हुए होते हैं, आपको इजीली मिल जाएंगे। तो बिना किसी देरी के शुरू करते हैं आज की क्लास। हमारा पहला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस की तरफ से। इंडियन नेवी सेट टू कमीशन महेंद्रगिरी द 6th प्रोजेक्ट 17A इंडिजिनस स्टेल्थ फ्रिगेट। The Indian Navy is set to commission its 6th Project 17A indigenous stealth frigate Mahendragiri at Visakhapatnam on 11th June 2026. 11 जून on 11th July 2026. 11 जुलाई 2026 को इंडियन नेवी में जो हमारा प्रोजेक्ट 17A का छठा इंडिजिनस स्टेल्थ फ्रिगेट है महेंद्रगिरी, उसको कमीशन किया जाएगा विशाखापट्टनम में। Named after the majestic Mahendragiri mountain ranges in the Eastern Ghats, the frigate embodies resilience, strength, and unwavering resolve. As the first Indian naval warship to bear this name, Mahendragiri is truly sui generis. She is now poised to forge a distinguished legacy and add another proud chapter to India's maritime history. Designed in-house by the Indian Navy's Warship Design Bureau and built by Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, Mumbai, Mahendragiri, the 6th Project 17A stealth frigate, exemplifies India's growing expertise in indigenous warship design and construction. महेंद्रगिरी को डिजाइन किया गया है इंडिया की ही जो वॉरशिप डिजाइन ब्यूरो है इंडियन नेवी की, उसके द्वारा, और बनाया गया है मजगांव डॉक शिप बिल्डर्स लिमिटेड द्वारा। इनकॉर्पोरेटिंग एडवांस्ड स्टेल्थ फीचर्स, enhanced survivability, reduced radar signature, and a high degree of automation, the frigate is powered by a modern combined diesel or gas propulsion system, enabling high-speed operations with exceptional endurance across the full spectrum of maritime mission. With over 75% indigenous content, Mahendragiri exemplifies the Government of India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. Her construction has brought together a vast network of Indian industries, including numerous micro, small, and medium enterprises, generating employment while strengthening the nation's defense industrial base. महेंद्रगिरी में 75% से ज्यादा कॉन्टिनेंट इंडिजिनस है, जिसमें बहुत सारे माइक्रो, स्मॉल और मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस यानी एमएसएमईज का योगदान है, जिससे एम्प्लॉयमेंट तो हमारे भारत में जनरेट हुई ही, साथ ही यह हमारे डिफेंस इंडस्ट्रियल बेस का भी एक बहुत मजबूत उदाहरण है। The frigate is equipped with an advanced suite of indigenous and state-of-the-art weapon and sensors, including surface-to-surface and surface-to-air missile system, sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities, comprehensive anti-submarine warfare system, and an integrated combat management system capable of undertaking anti-air, anti-surface, and anti-submarine operations. Mahendragiri is equally suited for maritime security, power projection, humanitarian assistance, and disaster relief, search and rescue, and sustained presence mission. अब ये फ्रिगेट जो है वो स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट वेपन्स और सेंसर्स से लैस है, और सरफेस टू सरफेस और सरफेस टू एयर मिसाइल सिस्टम से भी लैस है, जिसमें सोफिस्टिकेटेड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वॉरफेयर कैपेबिलिटीज हैं, एंटी सबमराइन वॉरफेयर सिस्टम लगा है, और एक कॉम्बैट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम भी है। साथ ही यह एंटी एयर, एंटी सरफेस और एंटी सबमराइन ऑपरेशंस करने में भी कैपेबल है, और साथ ही यह मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी, पावर प्रोजेक्शन, ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस एंड डिजास्टर रिलीफ, सर्च एंड रेस्क्यू सभी के लिए बिल्कुल सुटेबल है। The commissioning of Mahendragiri marks another significant milestone in the successful execution of the Project 17A program. As successive frigates of the class join the fleet, they continue to strengthen the Indian Navy's combat capability while reinforcing India's position as a leading indigenous warship building nation. As India continues to strengthen its role as the preferred security partner in the Indian Ocean region, Mahendragiri will serve as a formidable force multiplier, safeguarding the nation's maritime interest and contributing to a secure, stable, and prosperous Indo-Pacific. As the Indian Navy continues to strengthen its maritime capabilities through indigenous warships, Mahendragiri as a mission as a mission-primed unit, stands ready to serve the nation with distinction, living up to her motto, mighty, majestic, matchless. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी से। हाई रेजोल्यूशन रेडियो स्टडी रिवील्स वाइडस्प्रेड फेंट ब्लैक होल एक्टिविटी इन नियर बाई गैलेक्सीज। जो हाई रेजोल्यूशन रेडियो स्टडी है उससे ये पता चला है कि हमारे आसपास की गैलेक्सीज में बहुत सारे फेंट ब्लैक होल्स हैं, मतलब जिनको जल्दी और आसानी से ट्रेस न किया जाए ऐसे ब्लैक होल्स हैं। High resolution radio investigations of nearby galaxies have revealed a hidden population of weakly active black holes in the local universe that was so far difficult to detect. Hunting these hidden monsters is essential as they can inject energy into their surroundings through jets and outflows, influencing star formation rates and the long term evolution of galaxies. Astronomers believe that almost every galaxy harbors a massive black hole at its center. However, many of these black holes remain extremely faint and spotting them was a challenge. An international team of astronomers, including Dr. Aru Beri from the Indian Institute of Astrophysics, an autonomous institution under the Department of Science and Tech, used the E. Merlin radio array to observe 280 nearby galaxies selected from the Palomar sample and probe their central regions on parsec scales. अब एस्ट्रोनॉमर्स की एक इंटरनेशनल टीम में, जिसमें हमारे इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स के डॉक्टर अरू बेरी भी थे, इन्होंने यूज किया है ई मेरलिन रेडियो एरे और 280 नियर बाई गैलेक्सीज को ऑब्जर्व किया है, जिसमें बहुत सारे जो ऐसे छोटे छोटे ब्लैक होल्स देखने को मिले हैं। The researchers detected compact radio emission from the centers of nearby 1/4 of the galaxies, revealing the presence of weakly accreting supermassive black holes that are often missed in conventional observations. Most detected sources appear extremely compact, while a smaller fraction shows jet-like radio structures extending over several parsecs. The study represents one of the first statistically complete high-resolution radio surveys capable of isolating faint black holes activity in nearby galaxies. Earlier studies either lacked the sensitivity and angular resolution needed to separate weak nuclear emission from surrounding stellar activity or focused on smaller and potentially biased galaxy samples. By targeting a large and well-defined sample at very high radio resolution, the researchers were able to systematically uncover low-level black hole activity in ordinary nearby galaxies. To, to strengthen these findings, the radio observations were complemented with X-ray data from NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory. The combined observation helped confirm that the detected emission is powered by actively accreting supermassive black holes rather than by stellar processes such as star formation, supernova remnants, or X-ray binary systems within the galaxies. The results suggest that faint, low-level black hole activity may represent the dominant mode of black hole growth in the present-day universe. The study also highlights the importance of high-resolution radio observations in revealing a population of weakly active black holes that often remain hidden in the conventional galaxy surveys. अब एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पीआईबी बैकग्राउंडर है, ये इंडिया हैंडमेड के बारे में है, जो एक डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म है इंडिया का जो क्राफ्ट हेरिटेज है उसको प्रमोट करने के लिए। India Handmade is a dedicated digital marketplace that brings India's handloom and handicraft tradition into the online economy. The platform connects artisans and weavers directly with buyers, expanding market access while supporting livelihoods and cultural preservation. It showcases diverse handmade products, including GI tagged and ODOP items, giving regional crafts greater visibility. ये जो इंडिया हैंडमेड है, इसका काम ही है डाइवर्स हैंडमेड प्रोडक्ट्स जो है इंडिया के, उनको शोकेस करना, जिसमें जीआई टैग्ड और वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोडक्ट के आइटम्स भी हैं, ताकि रीजनल क्राफ्ट को ग्रेटर विजिबिलिटी मिले, उनको प्रमोट किया जा सके. A digital India bridge for handmade livelihoods. India is home to one of the world's richest handloom and handicraft tradition. The sector represents not only India's cultural heritage but is also an important source of inclusive livelihood. India currently has an estimated 64.66 lakh handloom and handicraft artisans. Women from a major part of this workforce, accounting for 71% of handloom weavers and 64% of total artisans as of August 2025. This strong participation highlights the sector's role in supporting employment and empowerment, especially in rural communities. With a large number of artisans and weavers, the sector continues to hold an important place in India's evolving marketplace. As commerce becomes increasingly digital, online access is helping these craft communities participate more directly in the market. Through the Digital India initiative, traditional livelihoods are increasingly gaining access to digital commerce opportunities. Launched in 2023, ये इस बात का ध्यान रखना है कि इसकी लॉन्चिंग कब हुई है 2023 में. India Handmade turns this vision into a dedicated digital marketplace developed by Digital India Corporation under the Ministry of Textiles. The platform strengthens the visibility of handmade products and opens wider market opportunities for sellers. Salient features of India Handmade platform. अब इसके important features क्या हैं? India Handmade brings tradition into the online marketplace through a set of features designed to support sellers, buyers, and craft heritage. A specialized online marketplace, it enables weavers and artisans to sell their handloom and handicraft products online. Direct buyer access, artisans and weavers are directly connected with buyers, helping reduce intermediaries and support fair compensation. Greater visibility, the platform showcases handmade products to a broader customer base, expanding market opportunities for sellers. Digital empowerment. Artisans and weavers are provided with digital tools and visibility to participate more effectively in online commerce. Financial and social empowerment, wider market access strengthens livelihoods and supports income opportunities. Cultural preservation, a diverse range of craft based products keep India's handmade heritage visible and helps preserve traditional skills for future generations. What makes India Handmade stand out? The portal is designed around trust, accessibility, and seller empowerment. It offers a seamless marketplace where artisans and weavers can reach buyers and buyers can discover handmade products with greater confidence. Craft diversity and regional identity. The platform provides a curated digital space for everyday handmade products and recognized regional crafts. It offers a wide range of products, including apparel, home decor, furnishing, painting, furniture, religious items, stationery, musical instruments, jewelry, bags, and footwear. It also highlights special product categories such as GI tagged and ODOP products. This gives recognized regional crafts greater visibility and a distinct identity. GI tagged products. GI tagged products carry a geographical indication, linking them to a specific region, quality, and reputation. The platform offers variety of GI tagged products such as Ipan art, pure pashmina shawls, Dokra decor, and Mundu products. ODOP products, the One District One Product initiative identifies and promotes a unique product from each district to support balanced regional growth. The platform features Tangail sarees, Banarsi silk products, Ikat, Tassar silk sarees, Chanderi silk and terracotta products, building trust and easing seller participation. Better access, better assurance, buyer benefits from a more reliable shopping experience through free shipping, purchase protection, secure payments and buyer support mechanism. It also reinforces trust by offering handcrafted product at competitive prices. Simple onboarding for sellers. The platform provides a guided onboarding pathway for artisans, weavers, and producer organizations to access the marketplace, bringing small seller into digital commerce. Sellers without GST registration can register using an enrollment ID with a mandate to sell only within their own state. This makes the portal more inclusive and accessible for smaller artisans and first time digital sellers. Carrying India's heritage into a digital future. India Handmade reflects the spirit of Digital India, recognizing craft as both a livelihood source and a reflection of India's cultural identity. With plans to onboard 60 lakh artisans, the platform supports the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It gives artisans and weavers wider market access while helping buyers discover handmade products with trust and ease. With every handmade product, it ensures that India's handmade legacy continues to inspire livelihoods and opportunity for generations to come. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड इंडस्ट्री से. India and Costa Rica hold the first joint economic and trade committee meeting. Bilateral trade rose to US dollar 391 million as India and Costa Rica review economic cooperation. The first meeting of India Costa Rica Joint Economic and Trade Committee was held virtually and on 6 to 7 July 2026. The meeting was co-chaired by Joint Secretary Department of Commerce, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Sri Vimal Anand from India and General Director of Foreign Trade, Ms. Adriana Castro from the Republic of Costa Rica. During the meeting, both sides reviewed bilateral trade and investment relations, exchanged views on their respective trade and investment regimes, and noted that with satisfaction the steady growth in bilateral merchandise trade to approximately US dollar 391 million in 2025 to 26. They also discussed opportunities to further expand trade and investment. The two sides exchanged information on their respective standards, accreditation, certification, and regulatory frameworks, and explored cooperation in areas such as standard development, conformity assessment, food safety, pharmaceutical regulation, and export certification to facilitate trade and reduce technical barriers. The Indian side highlighted its strength and identified opportunities for enhanced cooperation in pharmaceuticals, digital technologies, manufacturing, and innovation, while the Costa Rican side presented an overview of the Central American trade integration regime and its experience in regional trade negotiations. The JETCO, established under the Memorandum of Understanding on Economic Cooperation between India and Costa Rica, serves as the principal institutional mechanism for reviewing bilateral trade and investment relations, addressing issues of mutual interest, and identifying new avenues for economic cooperation. Both sides agreed to strengthen business to business engagement, promote institutional cooperation, and encourage regular interaction between the concerned ministries, regulatory authorities, and industry. Reaffirming their commitment to deepening bilateral economic ties, they agreed to utilize the JETCO as a key platform for advancing trade, investment, and sectoral cooperation. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस से. India and Rwanda agreed to expand bilateral defense partnership during second JDCC meeting in New Delhi. The second Joint Defense Cooperation meeting (JDCC) meeting between India and Rwanda took place in New Delhi on July 6 and 7, 2026. The two sides decided to expand partnership in the field of military training, military exercises, medical cooperation, and defense industries. An implementation plan with timelines for the action items emanating from the meeting was also agreed to during the meeting. The meeting was co-chaired by Joint Secretary, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, Sri Amitabh Prasad, and Chief for Joint Force Development, Training and Doctrine, Brigadier General Luis Canobayer. The Indian delegation comprised representatives from Department of Defense Production, Defense Research and Development Organization, Ministry of External Affairs, Armed Forces Medical Services, Headquartered Integrated Defense Staff and the Services. On the sidelines of the JDCC meeting, the delegation called on Defense Secretary Sri Rajesh Kumar Singh. Brigadier General briefed the Defense Secretary about the new areas of bilateral defense cooperation aimed at further strengthening the ongoing partnership. The delegation also interacted with the Indian defense industry and received an update on India's growing defense industrial ecosystem, indigenous capabilities, and technological advancements. The two sides identified potential areas of cooperation in the defense industrial sectors and committed to accelerate future collaboration in the field between the two countries. In addition, the delegation visited Army Hospital, Research and Referral, where they were provided a first-hand experience of India's military medical capabilities, advanced healthcare infrastructure, and the comprehensive medical support system established for the defense forces. The MOU on defense cooperation was signed on July 2018 during the visit of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to Rwanda. The successful conduct of the second JDCC meeting and associated engagements reflects the shared commitment of both countries towards strengthening defense partnership, enhancing institutional cooperation, and fostering and fostering closer ties. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पोर्ट शिपिंग एंड वाटरवेज से। कामराजार पोर्ट becomes India's second major port with 18-meter draft capability, boosting India's maritime competitiveness. Kamrajar Port Limited has emerged as a deep water port capable of handling Cape-sized vessels with the successful completion of its capital dredging Phase 6 project. With an operational draft of 18.0 meters, the port can now accommodate vessels carrying cargo parcels of up to 1,70,000 DWT. With this achievement, Kamrazar Port becomes the second major port of the country after Vishakhapatnam Port to offer a draft of 18 meters. The project, taken up in line with the vision of the Government of India to make Kamrajar Port Cape compliant, involved deepening of the outer approach channel from 20 meter to 23 meter, the inner entrance channel from 19 meter to 22 meter alongside berths to handle 18-meter draft, and the harbour basin along with associated navigational areas at an investment of about 440 crore rupees. The enhanced draft capability will enable shipping lines to deploy larger vessels, resulting lower freight costs through economies of scale, improved operational efficiency, and increased cargo handling capacity. It will provide significant economic benefits to the trade of the region, strengthen the port's competitiveness vis-a-vis domestic and international ports, and support the growing requirements of India's EXIM trade. The Cape compliant depth places Kamrazar Port in the League of International Ports in bulk cargo handling. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है कंपटीशन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया से। CCI approves merger of 51 Malabar Group's companies with and into Malabar Gold and Diamonds Limited. The Competition Commission of India has approved the merger of 51 Malabar Group's companies with and into Malabar Gold and Diamonds Limited. The proposed combination envisages the merger of 51 Malabar Group's companies with Malabar Gold and Diamonds Limited. Most of the transferor companies engaged in jewelry business. Transferee Company is the flagship company of Malabar Group, engaged in business of manufacturing, trading, retailing, wholesaling, supplying, distributing, importing, exporting, buying, franchising, and otherwise dealing in all kinds of gold, gold ornaments, diamonds, bullions, silver, platinum, precious stones, and other jewelry ornaments. It also acts as dealers, agent consignors, consignees of all kinds of lifestyle products made from jewelry and other allied items directly and or through appointing executive dealers, franchisees, agents and other related activities. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम ऑफिस से। 23rd National Level Meeting between India and Myanmar concludes in New Delhi. 23rd National Level Meeting between India and Myanmar was held on 7 to 8 July 2026 in New Delhi, India. The Indian delegation was led by Shri Govind Mohan, Secretary, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of the Republic of India, and Myanmar delegation was led by Major General Min Thu, Deputy Minister, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar. The meeting reaffirmed the importance attached by both countries to their long-lasting friendship and close partnership and their shared commitment to further strengthen cooperation for the mutual benefit of the two countries. The Indian side underscored that Myanmar occupies an important place in India's neighborhood first, Act East and Mahasagar policies. The two sides held a comprehensive and constructive discussion on bilateral security cooperation and reviewed progress under bilateral dialogue mechanism. They discussed cooperation in combating transnational crimes including terrorism, insurgency, narcotics trafficking, arms smuggling, human trafficking, wildlife trafficking, cybercrime, and other forms of organized crime. They also agreed to enhance intelligence sharing and operational coordination and undertake capacity building initiatives to address shared security challenges effectively. The two sides reviewed the prevailing security situation along the India Myanmar border and reaffirmed the importance of maintaining peace, stability, and security along the India Myanmar border. Both sides underscored the importance of preventing the misuse of sovereign territory for activities inimical to their security interest. The Myanmar side assured that its territory would not be permitted to be used against India's security interest. The two sides shared the importance of working closely towards the completion of Kaladan multi-modal transit transport project and the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway. The two sides expressed satisfaction with the outcomes of the meeting and agreed to continue close engagement and cooperation on security matters among relevant agencies through existing bilateral mechanisms, regular exchanges, training programs, and implementation of mutually agreed decisions. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस की तरफ से डीआरडीओ कंडक्ट्स सक्सेसफुल फ्लाइट टेस्ट ऑफ पिनाका लॉन्ग रेंज गाइडेड मिसाइल Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO) conducted a successful flight test of Pinaka long-range guided rocket at the Integrated Test Range Chandipur on July 8, 2026. The rocket was tested for a user-defined minimum range of 60 kilometers. Demonstrating all in-flight maneuvers as planned, the LRGR impacted on the target with textbook precision, exactly following the predicted trajectory. All the deployed range instruments tracked the flight throughout its trajectory. The Pinaka LRGR rocket is designed by Armament Research and Development Establishment in association with High Energy Materials Research Laboratory with support from Defense Research and Development Laboratory, Defense Research and Development Laboratory and Research Center Imarat. The flight trial was coordinated by ITR and Proof and Experimental Establishment. The rocket was launched from the in-service Pinaka launcher, demonstrating its versatility and providing launch capability of Pinaka variants of different ranges from the same launcher. Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh has congratulated DRDO, the Indian Army, and the industry on the successful flight test. He described it as a major milestone in indigenous design and development capability for long-range guided rockets. Defense Secretary and Secretary, Department of Defense Research and Development and Chairman DRDO Shri Rajesh Kumar Singh closely monitored the trials and complimented all the teams associated with the successful test. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पंचायती राज से इंडिया शोकेसेस women led पंचायती राज as a global model for inclusive grassroots governance at BRICS women ministerial meeting. कोच्चि केरला से ये न्यूज है 8 जुलाई 2026 अंडर इंडियाज ब्रिक्स chairmanship 2026 the Ministry of Panchayati Raj showcased the country's transformative initiatives in empowering women through democratic decentralization and strengthening grassroots governance during the panel discussion on advancing women's leadership at the grassroots. Held as part of the BRICS Women Ministerial Meeting in Kochi, Kerala. The panel was chaired by Sri Vivek Bhardwaj, Secretary, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, Government of India. The BRICS Women Ministerial Meeting has brought together ministers and head of delegations from BRICS member countries to deepen cooperation, advance women's empowerment, and reaffirm the shared commitment to inclusive, resilient, and sustainable development. The panel provided an important platform for sharing innovative approaches to strengthening women's leadership in local governance and promoting people centric development. Addressing the gathering, Sri Vivek Bhardwaj, Secretary, Ministry of Panchayati Raj, highlighted India's constitutional commitment to democratic decentralization and the remarkable transformation brought about by women-led Panchayati Raj institutions. He noted that women are increasingly emerging as effective agents of change, with 25 of the 42 Gram Panchayats recognized for exemplary performance under the National Panchayat Award last year being led by women, reflecting the growing contribution of women to inclusive and participatory local governance. Emphasizing that meaningful representation must be complemented by sustained institutional support, Shri Bharadwaj highlighted the ministry's Sashakt Panchayat Netri Abhiyan, a dedicated capacity building initiative designed to address the specific leadership needs to elected needs to needs of elected women representatives. Launched in March 2025, the initiative has already trained around 1.5 lakh elected women representatives, equipping them with the knowledge, skills, and confidence required to effectively lead local government and drive community development. हमारा अगला पीआईबी है Ministry of Tribal Affairs. Bhubaneswar Declaration adopted as National Workshop on Strengthening Tribal Research Institutes concludes. The two-day National Workshop on Strengthening Tribal Research Institutes, organized by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs in collaboration with the Government of Odisha, concluded today in Bhubaneswar with the adoption of the Bhubaneswar Declaration, marking an important milestone in advancing the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi for Viksit Bharat at the rate 2047 through stronger institutions that promote tribal knowledge, research, innovation, and evidence-based policy making. The workshop brought together nearly 200 participants from tribal research institutes, state tribal welfare department, academia, research institution, technology organization, industry development partners, and civil society to deliberate on the future of India's tribal research ecosystem. On day one, participants took part in four thematic breakout sessions and expert panel discussion on strengthening the TRI ecosystem. The first section focused on transforming TRIs into vibrant knowledge and cultural resource centers, discussing the preservation of tribal languages, indigenous knowledge systems, and cultural heritage through systematic documentation, digital repositories, and community participation and stronger institutional partnership. The second session examined strengthening research for tribal development, including the need for evidence based policy making through robust tribal data systems, baseline surveys, research quality standards, and stronger collaboration among research institutions. The third section explored the role of technology integration, artificial intelligence, geographic information systems, and innovation ecosystem in enhancing tribal research, planning, service delivery, monitoring, and institutional strengthening and citizen engagement, envisioning future-ready technology-enabled TRIs. The fourth section addressed institutional strengthening, governance, human resource, and strategic partnership, emphasizing the reform needed to transform TRIs into professionally managed, sustainable institutions capable of driving research, knowledge management, innovation, and policy support. On day two, representatives from each working group presented the key outcomes of their day one deliberation, followed by expert observations and extensive discussion with the Ministry of Tribal Affairs to consolidate these recommendations into a shared national roadmap for strengthening TRIs. These recommendations form the foundation for a comprehensive national roadmap to strengthen tribal research institutes as center of excellence in research, knowledge generation, cultural preservation, innovation, and evidence-based policymaking aligned with the evolving needs of tribal communities and the vision of inclusive tribal development. आशा करते हैं ये क्लास आपको अच्छी लगी होगी। अगर ये क्लास अच्छी लगी तो प्लीज लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब, और अगर आपको इस क्लास का पीडीएफ चाहिए तो आप हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल जिसका नाम है एग्जाम ब्लूप्रिंट, यहाँ पर कनेक्ट करके आप इसका पीडीएफ ले सकते हैं। यहाँ सारे पीडीएफ डाले हुए होते हैं। तो मिलते हैं अगली क्लास में, तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, टेक केयर एंड जय हिंद।